Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Simone here. Firstly, as you can see, my bookshelves are very different and I will be making a video about that soon. I also have an unhaul coming because I basically unhauled half of my books and I'm really excited about everything on these shelves. Today I'm going to be making a TBR video. So as you know, I'm doing kind of recent reads videos, and I'll link down below my most recent one. I'm not going to be doing a monthly wrap up, and I'm also not going to be doing a monthly TBR. What I'm going to do is I'm going to periodically make a TBR video, which will be my Wheel Chooses My TBR, which is what today's video is going to be. And I'm going to use that to pick my next sort of 5 books to read. I also will probably read other things in between, and then you'll get my recent reads, so you'll see me talk about them obviously. But these, it's going to pick the kind of the next, or not the next 5, but 5 books that I'm going to read in, you know, the next little while. You'll also see there's a space here because I didn't have enough books to fit on my shelves, I know, but I'm going to put my TBR on this shelf. So like I said, I'm really excited. Today there won't be you won't see the wheel on here because AJ normally helps me with that and he is not back until the weekend, which I'm very excited about. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. So let's start with spin number 1, I guess. So spin number 1 is... So spin number 1 is oldest published. So I'm going to have a look on my Goodreads and see which book on my shelves is the oldest published. So the oldest published book on my shelves, funnily enough, I think the last time this prompt came up, it was also a book by this author. It is Persuasion by Jane Austen. This is actually the only Jane Austen book I have left yet to read. So I'm quite excited that I'm going to be reading this one, and then I will have finally read all of Jane Austen's novels. This one's only about 200 pages as well, so it's not a massive book. This one I don't know loads about. It says Anne Elliot seems to have given up on present happiness and has resigned herself to living off her memories. More than 7 years earlier she complied with duty. Persuaded to view the match as imprudent and improper, she broke off her engagement to a naval captain with no fortune, ancestry or prospects. However, when peacetime arrives and brings the navy home and Anne encounters Captain Wentworth once more, she starts to believe in second chances. And I don't know, that just sounds really lovely. I'm actually really excited by this one. I think this is going to be one that I'm going to really enjoy, and I enjoy Jane Austen's writing, and like I said, it'll be great to have finally read yeah, the last one. I've only got one left to go. It's quite scary really. So spin number 2. Spin number 2 is non-fiction, and my non-fiction books are actually right here and on this bottom shelf, so I'm going to have a little look and see which one I want to read. So I've gone for another relatively short one here, but I'm actually really looking forward to this. This is Tea by the Nursery Fire, A Children's Nanny at the Turn of the Century by Noel Streatfeild. This book is written by Noel Streatfeild, who was one of my favourite authors as a child. She wrote Ballet Shoes, which is one of my favourites, and this is about Noel Streatfeild's I believe it's her, it was her father's nursery maid who looked after 2 generations of her family, and it kind of is about that. I just really love the picture on the front here with the dog in the pushchair as well. There's just something really cute about that. And I think this, again, this is going to be a really quick read, I think, really easy to read, but I also think it's going to be quite interesting. And it talks a lot about kind of the upstairs, downstairs, like almost like Downton Abbey esque times, I think. And yeah, I'm really fascinated by this, and I think this one could be good. So spin number 3. Spin number 3 is the most recent book that I've purchased, so I'm actually not sure which one that's going to be. So the most recent book I purchased is actually downstairs and I can't be bothered to go and get it, so I'll put a picture up here, but it is Red Dragon by Thomas Harris, which is the first book in the Hannibal Lecter series, the sequel being The Silence of the Lambs, and I am just really excited to read this one. So this is about a man named I'm just going to read the synopsis here because I'm not fully sure exactly what it's about. I know what the Silence of the Lambs movie was. But this says, a second family has been massacred by the terrifying serial killer the press has christened the Tooth Fairy. Special Agent Jack Crawford turns to the one man who can help restart a failed investigation, Will Graham. Graham is the greatest profiler the FBI ever had, but the physical and mental scars of capturing Hannibal Lecter have caused Graham to go into early retirement. Now Graham must turn to Lecter for help. And I really love the movie The Silence of the Lambs. I think that Hannibal Lecter as a character is so interesting, and I think that the novels are going to be really interesting. I really do want to read them, and I literally only got that one a few days ago, so I'm actually really excited that has come up on the wheel so quickly. Yeah, I'm excited. So spin number 4 is going to be... It's going to be a gifted book. So I got a lot of books for my birthday this year specifically as well. So I'm actually really excited. I need to really think which one of the books that I was gifted I want to read. So I mentioned in my birthday book haul that I got this book from Jenna from Jenna's Bookshelf on Instagram, who I'll link down below. But I also mentioned that I initially forgot to turn off the you can buy multiple copies of my books. And I think like 4 people had bought me this book. They obviously managed to stop them all going through. But it told me that this book was definitely a book that I obviously needed to get to very soon, because obviously everybody wanted me to read it. And that is Queenie by Carty-Williams. And I've heard nothing but amazing things about this. I think the cover of this is stunning, and I am just honestly so excited by this book. This follows Queenie, who is a journalist. And I believe this talks about race, it talks about solidarity, it talks about family. It's supposed to be quite funny at times, I think, and I don't really know too much about the story of this one, but I know that I am just so excited to read this. I think it's going to be fantastic, and yeah, I think this is going to be a great one. So this is going to go on my TBR. Definitely. And then we have our final spin for this video, so spin number 5. What do we have? So we had the spin of TBR games, and what I decided to do for this one is I'm going to search TBR games on YouTube and the month that we are in, and then the first one that comes up I'm going to get the first prompt or whatever they've got, and I will pick a book based on that prompt. So the first one that has come up for me for when I put in TBR game September 2020 is Book Browsing Blog, who I've actually already watched this video and I loved it. This is her Dart Attack TBR game, which she did alongside Bookopoly for September because of the Bookoplathon. So I'm going to click on this one, and I'm going to see, wait till she's going to do her first right, so her first dart throwing, I guess. Let's see what the first prompt is. So her first one was poll pick, which I'm not going to do because I just don't really want to have to like figure out the poll thing, and I want to be able to put it in this video what I'm going to read. So we're going to skip that one, and we're going to go with, I guess, throw number 2.
Big book. Okay.
Okay, so of course the second prompt that she had was to pick a big book. So I'm going to come up with a big book. And the good thing about doing this type of TBR is that I don't have to read them within a certain time limit because I'm not doing a monthly thing. So that's good because I don't need to stress. So let's have a look and see what I'm going to go with. And so for this one and for the final book for this video, I'm going to be reading Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin, which is I think it's like a book that comes before the series. I've read the first book before and I do want to reread them because my sister actually bought me the whole box set. But this one is the kind of history of the world of Game of Thrones, and I feel like it might help me to kind of figure out some of the world and stuff and figure that out. So I think that will be good. It's also got some really cool illustrations in, which I think is really interesting, and yeah, I am really interested in reading this one. So this literally says on the back, 300 years before a Game of Thrones, an even greater game began, one that set the skies alight with dragon flame and saw the 7 kingdoms turn to ash. So began the Targaryens' bloody rule with fire and blood. setting brother against brother, mother against daughter, and dragon against dragon. Chronicled by a learned maester of the Citadel, this thrilling and bloody history of Westeros tells the story of where the battle for the Iron Throne began. So, like I said, I'm really looking forward to this, and then I want to go through and read the whole Game of Thrones series. This one is, I believe, nearly 700 pages, or just over 700. So this is definitely classed as a big book, and like I said, the best thing about doing this type of more chilled wrap-up TBRs is that I don't have to read it in any particular time. This could literally take me a month and I would be absolutely fine with it. So yeah, I'm excited by this one. I think this is going to be a really interesting read, and I can't wait to delve back into the Game of Thrones world. So there you are, guys. That is the 5 books that I'm going to be reading at some point in the quite near future, I would think. Like I said, it's not necessarily going to be the next 5 books I read. Firstly, the wrap-ups that are coming, obviously there are still some that I've already read and I'm sort of going back to, but also because I will probably read other books in between these as well. But basically, when I finish these 5 books, I will then make another TBR video like this. And yeah, I still wanted to include my Wheel of TBR because I love making these videos and I really enjoy like randomly selecting books. So that is my plan. Let me know in the comments down below what books you're reading at the moment, and if you like these videos and you enjoy the way that I'm doing this, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys, stay safe.